the trader you become. The resistance beneath the trader. Many traders believe their struggle comes from the market, the losses, the volatility, the uncertainty, the mistakes, and sometimes that's true. But perhaps there is another struggle happening underneath the surface, because many traders are not only fighting the market, they are fighting reality, fighting their circumstances, fighting their results, fighting themselves. And that raises an interesting question. Why? Why do we resist where we are? Why is it so difficult to simply be where we are while continuing to move toward where we want to go? Chapter 1. The second layer of suffering. Imagine a trader takes a loss. The loss hurts. That's normal. Disappointment, frustration, sadness. Those emotions are part of trading, but then something else appears. A second layer. I shouldn't have taken that trade. I shouldn't still be making these mistakes. I should be further ahead by now. I should already be profitable. Now the trader is no longer experiencing only the loss. The trader is resisting the loss. And often it is this second layer that creates the greatest suffering. Not because reality happened, but because reality did not match what we wanted reality to be. Chapter 2. Why do we resist where we are? This is where things become interesting. Why does being unprofitable feel so uncomfortable? Why does a setback feel so painful? Why does it feel so difficult to accept where we are? Perhaps because where we are and where we think we should be are not the same place. But there may be something deeper. Perhaps we resist where we are because of what we believe it means. Because being unprofitable is rarely just being unprofitable. A losing month is rarely just a losing month, and a setback is rarely just a setback. We attach meaning to it. And that meaning changes everything. Chapter 3. What has trading come to represent? Many traders believe they are pursuing profitability. But what if profitability has become connected to something much deeper? Freedom, security, confidence, respect, significance, self-worth, peace. If profitability represents freedom, then being unprofitable may feel like freedom is far away. If profitability represents security, then being unprofitable may feel unsafe. If profitability represents worthiness, then being unprofitable may feel personal. Suddenly, the resistance makes sense. The trader is not simply resisting a number on a screen. The trader is resisting what that number appears to mean. Chapter 4. The hidden fear. For some traders, the deepest fear is not losing money. It is what losing money seems to say about them. Maybe I'm falling behind. I'm not good enough. I'm running out of time. I'll never get there. Most of these thoughts are not fully conscious. They operate quietly in the background, influencing behavior, influencing emotions, influencing decisions. And every time reality challenges those beliefs, resistance appears, not because the trader is weak, but because something important feels threatened. Chapter 5. Scarcity. For others, resistance comes from scarcity. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough opportunities, not enough progress, not enough success. The scarcity mind is always focused on what is missing, always scanning for what is lacking, always measuring the distance between where we are and where we think we should be. And when we live in that mindset long enough, life can begin to feel like a constant race, a race we never seem to win. Because no matter how much progress is made, the mind keeps finding another reason why it isn't enough. Chapter 6. What prevents peace? Perhaps this is the deeper question. What prevents that person from feeling at peace right now? Many traders believe, I'll relax when I'm profitable. I'll feel secure when I'm profitable. I'll finally be okay when I'm profitable. But what if peace is constantly being postponed into the future? One account away, one payout away, one milestone away, one breakthrough away. The future becomes responsible for creating a feeling that never seems to arrive. Because every time one goal is reached, another appears. The finish line moves again and again and again. Chapter 7. Acceptance. Many people misunderstand acceptance. They think acceptance means giving up, settling, lowering standards, stopping growth. But acceptance is none of those things. Acceptance is simply acknowledging reality as it is. Accepting where you are today does not mean giving up on where you want to go. It simply means working with reality instead of fighting it. Because reality is the starting point of every meaningful change. You can accept where you are and still pursue growth. You can accept where you are and still have goals. You can accept where you are and still work toward a different future. Acceptance and ambition are not opposites. Chapter 8. A different way to grow. Many people unconsciously believe there are only two ways to live. The first is to constantly strive, push, force, pressure, always chasing, always becoming, never enough, never satisfied. The second is to give up, stop caring, lower standards, accept mediocrity. But perhaps there is a third way, to pursue goals from a place of peace rather than deficiency. A deficiency mindset says, I need profitability because something is missing in me. I need success because I am not enough yet. I need freedom because I cannot be okay until I get it. I need this next milestone before I can finally relax. The goal becomes an attempt to complete ourselves, and that is a heavy burden for any goal to carry. But peace speaks differently. Peace says, I would like profitability. I would like freedom. I would like security. I would like growth. But my value does not depend on them. My worth does not depend on them. My ability to experience life does not depend on them. Now, the goal is no longer being used to escape ourselves. The goal becomes something we move toward, not something we need in order to become enough. And perhaps that is where a different kind of growth begins. Growth without self-rejection, progress without self-condemnation, ambition without being at war with yourself. Perhaps real change does not happen the way we imagine, not through forcing ourselves to think differently, not through fighting every limiting belief, not through becoming a completely different person. What can happen is something more realistic: awareness, understanding, compassion, acceptance, less resistance. And that alone can be transformative. Because when we stop fighting ourselves, we create space, space to learn, space to grow, space to change, not through force, but through understanding. Final thoughts. Perhaps one of the greatest challenges in trading is not learning how to manage risk. Perhaps it is learning how to stop being at war with yourself, because many traders spend years trying to change their circumstances while resisting the circumstances they currently have, trying to change their results while rejecting the results they currently have, trying to become someone else while struggling to accept who they are today. And perhaps that is where much of the suffering comes from. Not from where we are, but from resisting where we are. Perhaps peace is not found at the finish line. Perhaps peace begins the moment we stop making the finish line responsible for our happiness. That does not mean abandoning our goals. It does not mean lowering our standards. It does not mean giving up on growth. It simply means learning to pursue those goals from a different place, not from deficiency, not from fear, not from the belief that we are not enough, but from peace. Because accepting where you are today does not mean giving up on where you want to go. It simply means making peace with the starting point. If this video resonated with you, perhaps share it with someone else walking a similar path. And if you'd like more conversations about trading psychology, mindset, and personal growth through trading, you can subscribe and continue the journey. Because trading is not only a journey of learning the markets, it's also a journey of learning how to stop fighting yourself.